One, two, three, test the fans and for the fans. We are live with the live post-game show. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs, who are Super Bowl champions back to back. Manny, I know you didn't want that to happen, but unfortunately it did.
It's tough, but like I said, man.
Got playoff P in the building, or Super Bowl P. How was it? Well, it was a great game, bro. You couldn't have pictured a better game for you to be at in attendance. I guess that's the presence of greatness when you see greatness.
I'm gonna be honest, fellas. There's no amount of money in the world that can explain the experience three-dimensional, bro. Like I'm talking, if I think about my life's moments, birth of Peyton, birth of Cameron, getting married, buying homes, this shit's right up there in the top 5, bro. This was crazy. This was crazy.
I'm happy for you, brother.
What was the atmosphere? I mean, clearly I saw the atmosphere from a TV perspective, but from someone at the game, what can just take us through like just the emotions and just everything?
So first off, listen, one thing win or lose or draw, Niners fans are well represented, bro. They put on out here. This shit was Niners country. Like, Niners country. My whole row, 17 seats, only 2 Chiefs jerseys, me and another guy. Niners fans represented, bro. And I got to tell you, every play, bro, every pass, every drop back, shit, every run for a loss, bro. The energy was so crazy in there, man. Like, man, I just texted my wife and said, I don't think we're going to New Orleans, but we definitely going to Santa Clara in 2026. That's a fact. That's a fact, bro.
Well, you know what? Talk to us about the 49ers fans right now. Like, what is it like? Are there tears? Are they just like, you know, I know there's disappointment, but are they just walking away with no comments?
So I'm gonna be honest. I gotta tread lightly when you start talking about them because they be on Instagram beating people up. All right. So I ain't really trying to have that kind of smoke out here rolling solo.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? But I'm international peace, so I'm good anyway. All right.
You would have been protected if you had a Raider hat on, bro. You in my city right now.
So listen, Niners fans already knew what it was. The moment they only landed with 3 points, bro, their whole demeanor changed, man. Once they got that field goal to overtime, I don't even think I seen them get out of their seats. Other than that 4th and 1, great play calls, but I seen tears. Yes, I seen frustration. I seen one dude take his jersey off. I seen another guy throw his jacket. It was that new $9,900 OVO jacket. I seen him throw that in the trash, but it looked small. I was gonna try to get that, bring that back to the hood. But I gotta say something about Patrick Mahomes.
Like, put him up there.
You talking about? I mean, what did he have? 7 yards in the first quarter. We talking about 400 yards of offense in 3 quarters, bro. Like, he looked like Lamar Jackson. Like, bro, I don't think I said it before. I said it in the chat. I'm not a prisoner of the moment, bro. I know what I'm seeing. I know what my eyes are telling me. This motherfucker got me out here with a Chiefs hat on, bro, and an oversized chain.
No,
he
so
is
are
the
you?
GOAT.
So you're saying? So you're already saying that over Brady, and like it's already done deal?
Look how he's winning, bro. Look how he's winning. There's no stars out there, bro. I mean, Kelsey, right? Any way you want it. You want a shootout, he give you a shootout. You want a scratch and claw game, he give you a scratch and claw game. When it was time to run, he ran.
I will say he did look so poised and just like he had the game in control, like he wasn't worried at all. The way it went down. I mean, that's how I saw it.
You've never seen anything like it. You gotta. I know that obviously time is what will get him to that level, right? Brady's first 3, he was carried. He was carried. Mahomes dropping a bus, bro. Scratch that. Mahomes is driving a plane, bro. Like the plays at the line of scrimmage, to be sitting in the end zone, bro, hearing it, seeing it, watching it is crazy, bro. I don't think I could do another Super Bowl in the crib, bro. I swear I don't think I could do it. As long as they don't cost this much, I'll be at another one.
So now it's coming to. So are you going to meet up with Rick? What are the vibes for the rest of the night?
Well, listen, after buying me this amazing ticket, I need to go make a trip to the most expensive jewelry store on the strip. I got about an hour to get there. They close at 9. Valentine's Day is coming, baby. Van Cleef is calling my name. It's been a good day. And that's where I'm headed.
When are you heading back home? You going to stay there for the week or when you heading back home?
The week? Nah,
Week
Las Vegas
tomorrow.
ain't where you... This ain't where you want to be for a week, baby. You take your
My
winners
man,
and you
he
go
out
home.
tomorrow morning.
You probably
He out
out
tomorrow
tomorrow
morning.
Yeah, you
I'm
probably
out at
that is
midnight.
true.
Yeah,
I'm out
there
at
you go.
midnight. Okay?
Well, you out at midnight tonight?
I'm out at midnight, baby. Catch me on the red eye.
Wow.
The red eyes.
Manny, you have any other questions for Paul before we let him go? Because I know he's trying to navigate himself out of there.
Oh, how's my stadium, bro?
Yo, best stadium I've ever seen, bro.
Can't
I've
wait
been
to
in some
go, bro.
stadiums. I've been in some arenas, bro. Allegiant. I gotta think they packed 70K. You know, all those lights you seen from the Usher show, they came from a necklace. They controlled the necklace with the lights of the concert. So it wasn't like they had lights everywhere. Everybody got these chains on. The audio was crazy. Live DJ underneath the flame. Crazy, bro. Food everywhere. A1 food too. Man,
Sure.
I'll be back. Man, when you come with regular season game you coming to, I might have to roll with you, dog.
I'll hit you up, bro. We out.
All right, Paul, thank you so much for your game breakdown, bro. You have a safe flight home.
Enjoy, bro.
Enjoy
Stay
the rest
safe
of your
out
stay
there.
while you're there, bro. We love you, man. Be safe.
Salute.
And before I go, one thing, shout out to the Sports Hitless, baby. There's nobody giving content from the building, from the show, from the seats, from the crowd. Nobody doing them. One time for the homies, bro.
We appreciate you, bro. Enjoy, man. Thank you so much, man.
Bless, bro.
Manny, overall thoughts on the game, sir?
It was a great game. It was a tale. You could say it's a tale of two halves. You can go with anything. You know, turnovers on both ends of the game. But my father, he called me in the first half and said, "Oh, it's over. The Niners are gonna win." I'm like, "Father, you haven't watched Patrick Mahomes play, bro." I told my pops all the time, "You don't really watch football like that." But I told him, I'm like, "Don't count him out." And then he literally just called me the minute the game ended, and he's like, "Yo, you were right." I'm like, the thing is, I was just talking to my brothers earlier, right before overtime, and I said Niners have to score a touchdown. You can't give that much time. Look how quick they moved that ball up the field just to get there. So once again, Mahomes is putting a stamp to it. I hate every team in my division, but I can tell you this right now, I can hate them all, but I have respect for Mahomes, man. He's up there. You got to have that conversation with him. 3 chips in 4 years now?
Yeah, I think it's 3 and 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Or 3 and 5, something like that. But
3 and
again,
5.
still, that's
Yeah, what is it? Travis, it's 3 and 5, right?
3 and 5. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
3 and 5.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Listen, before we start having the convo, to be honest, I still need one more. Don't give me this was
Conversation about
because
what?
okay, so look at
Like what? The GOAT combo?
Yeah. To
Oh,
even
okay.
begin to have it, in my opinion.
What
Because
was it, purple?
I look at it this way.
Hey, I called it.
Brady has 7, right? Brady basically had 2 Hall of Fame careers. You know what I mean? If you look how many quarterbacks have won that many? How many quarterbacks have won 4 Super Bowls? I think it's only him and Montana, right? Brady and Montana. So the odds, the odds of getting to even 6 are just astronomical.
No, it is.
Patrick Mahomes has already had a Hall of Fame career. He would basically have to have another Hall of Fame level career.
But you know what? Oh, the thing is, this year alone, with all the shit that they went through the entire season. You understand? Look at the weapons he's had this season compared to other two Super Bowl teams they won with and who they faced. Look at this year. This game alone spoke for itself. It wasn't like Paul said. He rode the bus. He drove the bus. He didn't ride. He drove that bus. That's on him. And again, don't get me wrong. Shout out to Spags. Shout out to the football chat that brought it up with Spags, calling those great defensive schemes in the second half. Look at the difference in the first half and the second half. And what happens? It's not about how you start. It's always about how you finish. And we just saw it. So shout out to them. They won. Sucks that they won in my stadium, but I'm looking forward to next season. That's all I can say.
Now,
the only Chiefs fan I know, the only real legit Chiefs fan I know is Tim. Shout out to Tim. He's the only legit Chiefs fan I know. So, go ahead, talk your shit. I'm already waiting in the group chat. But
let me say this, Trav, let me say this. Do you think that the 49ers missed kick, like the kick that was blocked? Is that what cost them the game?
No, I'm not gonna say that. I think not putting the Chiefs away early in the game, I think, is what cost them the game. Those first couple drives within the first quarter where they didn't put up points, I think what was the fumble by CMC, and then you had the two calls on Trent Williams. I think those calls might have been back to back. I think the slow start offensively and early in the game is what cost this team, because the 49ers probably should have been up at minimum 17-0. Probably they should have been up 17-0 at that point. And then once they had the trick play, which got them on the board finally. And it's just you let this game stay within a one possession game. I put it in the group chat. I said the 49ers continue to let this team continue to let the Chiefs stick around. And when we said it earlier, right? I said it earlier. Statistically, across the board, in 5 out of the 8 categories that I had the 49ers, they won those position groups. In 5 out of the 8, right? But what was the big one that we said were the determining factors? They had the better quarterback and they had the better coaching. And what two things showed out to win this game? You had Patrick Mahomes on one side in a one-score game, and he had the ability to go down and win the game. And you had Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo calling great plays offensively and defensively. You know what I mean? Having the better quarterback, the superior quarterback, a Hall of Fame level quarterback, it's the great equalizer. It's kind of the same thing last year. It was the same thing last year. The Eagles last year were probably kind of the better team statistically if you look across the board. But you have Patrick Mahomes. You're not out of it when you have a Hall of Fame level quarterback on your side. Ray Jarvis said it in the chat. This game for the Chiefs was a microcosm of their season. You saw the receivers out there screwing up, you know what I mean? Dropping balls, missing balls, making mistakes, you know what I mean? But Patrick Mahomes, he continued to do what he's been doing all season. He had the most scrambles for first downs out of all the quarterbacks this whole season. What did you see him do? You see him scramble for big first downs and clutch moments in this game. You see him. This is what you have when you have championship DNA, man. You're never out of the game. This is why the 49ers needed to put them away early, because the Chiefs came out a little sluggish early at the beginning of the game. We had a 0-0 first quarter. So both teams came out a little sluggish, but the 49ers should have put them away earlier, because as the game went on, the Chiefs defensively, they started to get better, and then it got into overtime, and then here we are yet again throughout this game in a one-score game when you got a Hall of Fame quarterback on the other side. The odds are not in your favor, friend. They're not in your favor.
Manny, you agree?
Absolutely. He's right. There's no Niners, I guess, didn't step on their necks. The thing about when you play against the Chiefs, no lead is safe. And if you bring the ball up to the end zone and you kick a field goal, that's not going to win you a game against the Chiefs, especially them, because they will make you pay. They will make look what happened in overtime. that played to MVS, Valdez Skelton. What happened? He caught the ball, didn't move forward, moved backwards, got pushed, -3 yards, -3 yards. Then what happened? The very next play, he puts up 7 yards. Then the next play, Mahomes runs 19 yards, rushing yards.
Key
And
first down on a scramble. Like the
and
49ers did a pretty good job of trying to keep him within the pocket and trying to get him from improvising and making a lot of those plays from outside the pocket. But in the key moments, Patrick Mahomes went there and got those first downs himself. It's like that moment. Remember the replacements when Coach asked him, he's like, "What do you want to do?" He's like, "I want the ball." Winners always do. Patrick Mahomes said, "I want the ball."
But that's what separates Pat Mahomes from the rest.
Exactly.
So I guess, I mean, clearly everyone's talking about, we kind of know like the 49, I mean, the Chiefs are talking about three-peat, but for the 49ers, I mean, I guess what's next? They've been here twice already, I guess, over the last 5 seasons, and they've lost. I mean, do they need to make any, I guess, is it too early to say what they need to get over the hump? Is this a case of they can't get over the hump when you have a dynasty team, you just can't beat them? You know, like it's just you like, where do they go from here? Is it coaching? Is it, another player? Like what moves can they make? Because again, they've been here twice now, right?
They've been in the NFC Championship. They've been in the Final Four. I think the last 4 or 5 years or so.
And they just can't seem to get
years.
it done. So like, and we've seen teams like this in sports, right? Where it's like you just can't get over the hump. Like you're there.
Right.
There. Are they missing something to get over the hump, or they're just going to be that team that's just not good enough?
You know what's funny? I don't know. I don't know what more this team can do. I mean, I guess you can improve, but it's easy for us to sit here and say, oh, they should subtract this guy and add this guy. But you can't, you can't just go out here and get that guy. You know what I mean? So I mean, I guess we can sit here and say, yes, they can you can get an upgraded quarterback, but you can't. I mean, they can, you know what I mean? Like, there's no quarterback out there, I think, that's gonna come in and improve their team. That a quarterback that's available. You know what I mean? So Brock Purdy, he's done well up until this point, you know what I mean? But there's nobody available that you can come bring in. I mean, I guess some people are gonna go out here and sit here and say Kirk Cousins free agency, but whatever. Y'all know how I feel about that.
Oh, that's
right. Y'all know how I feel about that. But
yeah.
I don't know where this team, in my opinion, people will disagree. I believe Kyle Shanahan is one of the best, at least top 5 play callers in the NFL. That's just my opinion. People disagree, but it is what it is. Defensively, they've always had one of the better defenses since under the Kyle Shanahan era. You have a top running game. You have wide receivers on the outside. You have a great pass. You've built this team the right way. This team is built through the trenches. You have a good offensive line. You have a strong run game. You have a great defensive line. You have great linebackers. I mean, their secondary could probably use a little help, you know what I mean? But you can go out and draft. You probably draft a rookie or so, but you know what I mean? So I don't know where this team goes to try and get over that hump. I just don't know what the answer is for them.
You got to look at the contracts too, because that offseason is going to be crazy.
Right, like you had the 49ers have had a lot of young stars on rookie deals. Brock Purdy, he's still on his rookie deal. He was the 7th round pick, so he still ain't making no money for at least another year or two. You know what I mean? So can you even afford to try and bring Kirk Cousins in if you wanted to? Because he's gonna want money. So I don't know if they could even afford to try and bring him in. You know what I mean? So I don't know where this team go. This is one of those things where, like we was talking about, sometimes you just need a little luck, and they just ain't had the luck. They've missed that 5%. Remember, I said 5% of luck. They've missed that 5. They've been missing that 5%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so Manny, do you agree there with in terms of the 49ers? Is it they're just missing that luck? And we've seen great teams run into a greater team and run into a greater dynasty, and they just can't get it done. And I think the 49ers kind of fall into that category.
The thing is, one thing can be said, and it's probably been said in the group chats plenty of times. You pretty much have to be almost perfect to beat the Chiefs. That's what it is, because it's usually, if you notice, a lot of the times the Chiefs have lost games, It's because the other team had to play literally perfect and not mess up not once and allowing the Chiefs to capitalize. Or the Chiefs beat themselves. That's pretty much what it is.
Well, I mean, if you look at the 2 times they've lost, right? They lost to Tom Brady and the Bucks that year. So I don't know if that was the Chiefs beat themselves or Tom Brady being perfect.
No, but
Super Bowl.
again, but it's Tom Brady.
The Bucks beat them that year. The Bucks went out there and beat them.
That's the difference because Tom Brady has been there how many times? 8 times,
right? And that
or 9
defense,
times?
like you got to think about it. The Chiefs had to revamp their entire offensive line after that game because the Bucks went after him. They threw the kitchen sink after him in that game.
And what
the
happened?
offensive line at that point was a little shaky, right? And they had to go out there and revamp that entire offensive line after that. You know what I mean? So it's just
so
like,
okay.
Like
so how
said,
about
you got to be a level of perfection. Like
so then how about the Joe Burrow year when the Bengals beat them? Was that the Bengals beating them, or was that them getting playing perfect, or the Chiefs beating themselves? Because those are the only 2 times they've lost within the span of this dynasty, right? Or those 2 times?
That was the Bengals going out there and beat them. And again, you had another elite level quarterback on the other side. As good as good. I'm not gonna say great. As good as Brock Purdy has been, we're not gonna call him. I'm not gonna sit here and get into that whole game manager versus nonsense.
Are you gonna call him a game changer?
No. But I'm not gonna call him an elite level quarterback. You know what I mean?
You know who's not?
So I'm not gonna put him in that top 5 category. Joe Burrow is in that top 5 category. So you had a team who, when you're equal, you have a top 5 quarterback on your side, and you got a top 5 quarterback on the other side. You know what I mean? And that's just why the quarterback position is so important in this league, because they are the great equalizers when it comes to these games.
The perfect example when the Chiefs play the Bills. Chiefs loses to them almost every time in the regular season. Come playoff time, what happens? Bills don't win.
And it's not like they don't have. The Bills have a top 5 quarterback on their side as well. You know what I mean?
And they have a top defense too. It's not like they have no slouch. They're good on both sides.
Exactly. So it's just when like you said, Carl. Sometimes when you just come against these GOAT level dynasties, you just, unfortunately, you're a footnote in their story.
Right, but again, I mean, they are beatable. It is possible because we've seen it happen times. It's just the 49ers can't seem to get it done. You see, so that's the main issue right here, is trying to get the 49ers over the hump, because they can't seem to get it. And like I said, we've seen 2 teams beat them already, but I guess they just don't have enough to get it done.
Yeah, and also you got to see that the Chiefs have won a lot of games being down in the first half, or even going into the fourth quarter. It could be down by 21, 24, whatever, and he still managed to come back up right away. No excuses.
Are we going to make a big deal about Kelce yelling at Andy Reid? Are we about to make that a big?
No.
They won. The thing is, it's emotional. It's an emotional game, no matter what. This is not the first time we've seen a player go at their coach and spaz on them. And it's not just Kelce. It's a lot of players on a lot of teams have done this. They voice their frustration.
But there are only certain players on your team that can go do that.
That can get away with it.
On the Chiefs, there are 3 players, in my opinion: Mahomes, Kelce, and Chris Jones. Those are the only 3 players that can go and get away with that and be like, because we know that you're a great player and you're gonna rise to the occasion. You're passionate about it. You know that you're a great player and that you can help your team win. You know what I mean?
And look what happened.
Exactly. Only certain players can get away with that. I'm not making a big deal. It's in the heat of the moment. He was just he wants to win, player. and he knows that he's a catalyst to help them win. You know what I mean,
bro? MVS could not have done that.
Right? MVS. If MVS would have did that, I said, "Listen here, you're gonna go get me a bottle of water right now. Go get me a Gatorade right now. You playing around? I'm not playing around with you. Go get me a Gatorade. No, I'd have sent him to. If I'm Andy, I'd have sent his ass to the concession. Go get me a cheeseburger. You sitting around bumping me. What the hell wrong with you?"
And I guess the final part is now it's just I guess the entire GOAT debate. There's a lot of fans who believe they've seen what they've seen. And you know, I think Patrick Mahomes is what 28 years old, and what he's been able to accomplish within that short time frame. Speaking of which, I think there's somebody, Travis, that you were just going back and forth with that was discussing this in our group chat. His name is Ray Jarvis from the Rap Round Table, and normally Ray doesn't pull up, but when he says send the keys, I will gladly send the keys. Ray Jarvis, and we were just talking about what we've seen when it comes to the GOAT debate. There's a plethora of people who believe what they've seen so far in Patrick Mahomes in the shortest span that he's done it, that he is the greatest. And Paul, who's actually at the game, who watched the game and watched him, said it himself. Ray, I'm going to give you the floor to cook. So what are your thoughts here with that? Is that where you want to start, or do you want to start overall with the game?
I mean, I'll give you a two-pronged response, pause. Really what I wanted to hop on and say is that the league really messed up and let the Chiefs win the championship. This was the year they were supposed to lose. You look at their offensive weapons, you look at the drops throughout the year, Kadarius Toney being benched for the playoffs, Mahomes having meltdowns on the sideline. You messed around and let them have an all-world defense with no real weapons on offense and win the championship. And we all know they're going to reload next season. So it's like, as a league, as a fan of the league, we might be in trouble here. Like the dynasty talk is real. As for the GOAT talk, he was in a group chat, and Travis, he I don't know, Travis plays a different type of game. We're not saying that he belongs next to Brady right now. We're not putting him next to
No, I know we're not saying that. I know you wasn't saying that.
Just let me finish for the sake of the view. All we're saying is that at this particular point in the conversation, he's entered it, meaning like he's on the ground level, like Brady's in the penthouse. Usually he's been in that penthouse by himself. Now Patrick Mahomes, he got the U-Haul, he's setting up shop on the first floor. In a few more years, they might have to share that top floor. 6 years as a starter, 4 Super Bowl appearances, 3 championships, 3 Super Bowl MVPs. I think there was a 2 league MVP somewhere mixed in there. Like,
Yes.
gotta talk about it. Back-to-back championships on top of that. And the thing is, when Brady came in and Brady started his GOAT run, he was a game manager. He wasn't the Brady that showed up in the mid to late aughts and became a monster. Early Brady was a game manager. Mahomes came in as him day one. So we got to look at all of these variables when we start saying there's a GOAT conversation. Like, Pat is in the combo now. His race, to me now, as of right now, and I guess a lot of people would agree, his race is now to become the GOAT. He's not just going to be an all-time great. Mahomes to stop playing right now. He's already an all-time great. His race ends with him either being a GOAT or not. And we got to start looking at him that way.
What gets him above? Like winning seven, like say he ties Brady. Say he ties Brady, end the career.
If he gets 8, or if Brady went to 10, to Travis's point in the group chat, if Brady went to 10 Super Bowls and he won 7, and he did it with Diddy, especially the later half of his career, then Mahomes needs to match or get above that. Mahomes will throw for more yardage. He'll throw for more touchdowns. It's going to come down to championship game appearances and championships. If he gets 8, the conversation is dead. He's the GOAT. Or if he gets to 7, there's a humongous argument. You could probably say he ties 7, and then you start looking at the stats and the playoff performances. Like these, look how he walked down San Francisco. He did that. He walked down Philadelphia. We forget about the Philadelphia game. They were trailing. He walked Philly down last year. He walked San Fran down for the first championship. Like, he's having legendary performances on his resume, and we got to start putting respect on that. Like, Mahomes is in that conversation.
You also got to mention too that this year, my bad, Travis, real quick. I think you said it, Joe. The fact that we got to see him finally play in the playoffs on the road. Mm-hmm. We saw him do it twice, and what happened? He beat the Bills at home. He beat the Baltimore Ravens at home, like in their turf. And what happened? He walked into the Super Bowl. So this year is really big
on the road. That's a great point, man. He didn't just beat some teams that had fluke seasons. The Bills were a top contender. Everybody looked at the Ravens as the favorite in the AFC. He went in their cribs and took care of business. We really got to start. This is Brady-esque. What do you do?
Top defenses too.
Yeah,
we're talking top 5, top 10 defenses all year long. Mm-hmm. And he beat them. Now he beat the Niners in the Super Bowl.
Well, you know what? And speaking of the Niners,
I'm
Well,
sorry,
Trav-
Carl. Wait, hold on, Carl. Hold. I'm gonna pass it right back. I just want to say this: is this an all-time playoff run we just witnessed?
Yes, hands down. I hate the Chiefs, but you cannot deny it. You can't. You can hate
Yeah.
Mahomes,
We gotta
whatever.
talk about it.
This,
well,
this is
well,
up there.
Ray, let me just ask you this because I asked the panel this before. The 49ers, and we were talking about beating the Chiefs, right? So we saw Brady do it. We also saw Joe Burrow, and so why can't the 49ers get over the hump? Are they missing a piece? Because they've been here 2 times over the last 5 years, and they still can't get the job done. So is it coaching? Is it the player that can get them over there? Because again, we've seen the Chiefs be beaten, but for some reason the 49ers can't seem to do it, whether it's with Brock Purdy or another quarterback. What's the missing piece here?
I mean, the answers in your question. You said Kansas City lost to Cincinnati and Tampa, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow, Tom Brady. Quarterback is the most important position in sports. You're not beating the Chiefs with Jimmy Garoppolo and Joe Burrow. You know what I mean? Joe Burrow tonight, and let's be clear, like he did have a good comeback against Detroit, but at a certain point in that Detroit game, his numbers looked very game manager-esque. Tonight, his performance statistically was game manager-esque. Some of the throws and some of the decisions that even the play calls that San Francisco tried to go with, they didn't call it like they had an all-world quarterback under center. That's why they didn't score enough points to win. Because quite frankly, San Francisco dominated this game and they lost because you don't have a true game changer at quarterback. Joe Burrow is a game manager. He's not a championship quarterback. Jimmy G played his way.
Brock Purdy?
You know what I mean? I'm sorry, Brock Purdy played his way into a game manager situation. Garoppolo played himself off the Raiders. We don't even know what Jimmy Garoppolo might be a career backup going forward. So you got the 2 Super Bowls with backup quarterbacks, backup level quarterbacks. They need a real quarterback. If they had a real quarterback, and I'm sorry, Carl, we know it's a sports hit list. We know the if rules. But we got to call it what it is. Give San Francisco a real quarterback. A real quarterback. If you give them Geno Smith with this talent in that system, they beat Kansas City. Geno Smith. Brock Purdy is not that guy. And then people got so up in arms and said he was an MVP candidate. We joked about it in the group chat. I gotta keep representing because there's a lot of talent in that group chat. Anytime they played against good teams, they be in San Francisco. Brock Purdy looked a little sus. The play calling looked a little sus. So we saw it again tonight. Let's call it what it is. There were a few throws that he wished he could have back, a few decisions he wished he could have back. Kansas City wasn't afraid to blitz them. Anytime there was an obvious blitz situation, Kansas City brought the house with no fear of Brock Purdy beating him. He's not a game changer, and he's going to get paid like one when he's slightly more talented than a Daniel Jones. If you're being truthful, he just has a better mind for the game than Daniel Jones. But talent-wise, he's not a guy you're going to win a championship with.
So in that case, do you think the 49ers realize that, or are they going to have him for the long haul and say, okay, like he's not that quarterback? Like, do you think anyone in their management would realize that he's not the guy, or is it just us as fans seeing that, and management's not going to care to see that over the next few years?
I mean, us as fans, we have the luxury of not worrying about politics. You know what I mean? General managers and owners, they got to worry about politics and optics. I think his next contract, I'll lean on Travis. He might know Brock Purdy's contract situation, but whatever his next deal is, if this specific out, you said Daniel Jones has an out after next season, like the Giants kind of knew he wasn't that guy, like 100%, so they gave themselves some protection. If San Fran doesn't go all in with Brock Purdy's next deal, then that tells us that they're not sure, but they kind of have to pay him based on the fact that he's young and he's still very much coachable. So I don't think they move on, but we'll see about midseason if we're having this conversation saying the jig is up and the film is out on Brock Purdy. But as of right now, I would hope they smart enough to go get a guy go trade for somebody. But I just don't see them doing that. It's a bad look PR-wise if they move on from Purdy now.
All right, guys, let me ask this. Well, go ahead, Travis. You had something to rebuttal, right?
Let me touch on 2 of those things right there. In terms of, I want to get back to the GOAT conversation after this. But in terms of the Brock Purdy contract situation, he's a 7th round pick. This is what, year 2? So he probably got like a 3 year, maybe 4 years. He's not getting paid no money now. You know what I mean? So that's why they're able to put a lot of talent around him. But like I said that earlier, we all agree that an upgrade at the quarterback position is probably what the 49ers need to get over that hump. But where do you get it from? It's all cool for us to sit here and say it's like all-star pick. Oh, we think this person should have made it. It's good for us to play fantasy, But in reality, who do you go out there and get as the upgrade? Who's available? You know what I mean? If you want to sit here and say Kirk Cousins, yeah, no, like I said, I know how I feel about Kirk Cousins, but money-wise, can you fit Kirk Cousins on that roster money-wise? You know what I mean? So they're kind of in a situation where, yeah, you would love an upgrade, but where do you get it from?
Well, you gotta look at it like
player.
this. They're probably gonna lose Brandon Ayuk this offseason. I believe he's free after this year, unless they franchise tag him. And is he good enough to tag him at the pay range of wide receiver commands? I doubt it. So maybe Ayuk's money goes to the quarterback position. I don't know.
Maybe Debo. I think Debo was a 3-year deal. He's been a little injury prone. I mean, you got to make it. I think you got to make a decision on him and see what that's about. You know, what I mean, I think you keep Brandon Ayuk because he's a younger player. If anything, you might have to ship out. You might have to ship out Debo, maybe.
Purdy had my bad. Brock Purdy's contract is $3.7 million, 4 years from 2000.
Oh, so he got
from 2022. So this is year 3?
This is year 2. This is year 2. I mean,
he's probably not walk. He's not going to walk in a training camp with that kind of bread. He's going to hold out if they don't pay him.
Right. If his agent is smart, he's going to go out there and try and get a contract now. You know what I mean? But still, even then, do you pay? You might give him one of those mid-tier, like, tie-over contracts. Like, all right, like you know you wasn't getting paid no money. And, like, we know you are extremely underpaid for what you're doing. So, all right, here's 3 years, $25 million. You know what I mean? When we know the market is like 40. The market is like 40, 50 now. So 25 for 3 years, that's a steal.
He had an MVP caliber season based on MVP votes. He's not going for no 3 for 25, Travis.
Yes, but you got 2 more years left on your deal. You don't have no leverage.
Fair play.
So, Trav, you wanted to go back to that GOAT debate. Are you Ray's stance about putting him in the conversation?
I agree that, okay, so if anything, to use your analogy, I think Mahomes is shopping for real estate in the area. Okay. I need one more for him to be in the building, simply because if you think about it, Tom Brady has had essentially, if you think about it, 2 Hall of Fame careers. If you think about it, 3 and 3. How many quarterbacks have had 3 Super Bowls? A handful. How many quarterbacks have had 4 Super Bowls? I think 2. So the odds of him getting another 3 is low-key astronomical. As great as he's already been, the odds of him getting another 3 are already astronomical.
But Travis, the first 6 years, 6 straight AFC Championship games, 4 Super Bowl appearances. How much more real estate he need to shop for?
That's a Hall of Fame career already. But like I said, Brady had low-key 2. Because if you separated those 2, he had 2. So
yeah, but Brady wasn't an all-time great after 6 years, Travis. Mahomes could stop playing right now.
Right, I agree with your point that in the first three, Brady was kind of the game manager-ish, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm willing to say if Mahomes get another one, I'm definitely ready to have the conversation. You got to be at least halfway to what Brady has for me to at least have the conversation. You're not at half yet. I need you to at least be at half, at least.
I see it the other way. I think he's the NFL's final boss. You got to go through Mahomes. That's how I'm looking at it now. Mahomes is the standard.
Yeah. Mahomes is what Brady was.
I agree with that. I agree with that. He is the standard. Yeah, you got to go through him. But like you said, he's not measuring himself against them no more. He's trying to measure against Brady. So it ain't about Brady ain't in it. It's not about.
Well, I also think he separated himself from everyone else at this point.
Yeah.
Did Brady have a 6-year run like Mahomes just had?
No,
because you had the Giants in the middle of that. You had Peyton Manning. He was going through Ben Roethlisberger. Like there was a lot going on in that in the AFC to get through. So
Ben 8.
Yeah. So
a bunch of teams 8.
We also had the conversation before the show, but I guess now, Ray, I said that for me, in order to have a dynasty, I have 2 rules. You need to win at least 3, and you have to have the back-to-back. So I guess the Chiefs kind of qualify. Do you think that's a fair assessment of a dynasty or no?
I don't know, bro. I'd be afraid to use the dynasty word now because it's like everybody has like so many different meanings. So it's like I'm more apt to look at the dynasty like in the rear view. Like, all right, back in 5-6 years ago, they were a dynasty. But if we're calling it what it is, as far as 6 years, 6 AFC Championship game appearances,
4 Super Bowls, 3 championships, 1 back-to-back. I mean, I guess we living in a dynasty. I mean, I'd be hard pressed to say no, because they said the Cowboys, the last team to really do it like this, like a 3 out of 4 kind of deal, was the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if the Patriots ever did 3 out of 4. Don't hold me to that, people. Please don't kill me.
The Pats was
Patriots,
the
they
last
did.
ones to do it back to back. They was the last ones to do back to
But
back.
did they do a 3 out of 4 like the Cowboys did in the 90s?
I would think so, because they didn't do a
think
three-peat.
So hold on.
They didn't do a three-peat, so
let's check that. I
Because
think
I know
No, 'cause I think-
Cowboys
I think
went
the
back to
Steelers
back,
won.
lost
the
to San
Steelers-
Fran in the NFC Championship game, and then they went and they beat the Steelers in '96. And they said that was Cowboy team was a dynasty. So based on those standards, KC is a dynasty.
they got because the Pats they was the last one. The Pats didn't do a three-peat, so it had to be 3 out of 4.
Right.
no,
Because
yeah,
the
the Pats won, because the Pats won 2002, 2004, and 2005.
So
So
there
they-
you go.
Yeah,
And they were already considered
yeah.
a dynasty at that point when they won the 3rd one. So yeah, the Chiefs are a dynasty then. Call it what it is.
yeah.
Carl, this sound like a great cross-sport show in the offseason. You know what I mean? Dynasty
So,
talk. You know what I
It
mean?
is because again we talked about, like I said, the back-to-back, and they won the 3. So I think that's what qualifies. Like we always say
Yeah.
that.
You know what it is? Because you know what kind of messed me up? That not to make it about basketball, but when Golden State won 3 out of 4 with KD, and when they won the last 2, they were saying Golden State wasn't a dynasty. So I was like, I started getting confused. Like, what's a dynasty then? If Golden State go to the finals 4
But they
straight years
did.
and went 3 out of 4, that's not a dynasty. Then they didn't say Golden State was a dynasty till they won the 4th chip. So it's like, what's the dynasty? You know?
No,
what I
they
mean?
won. No, in my opinion, they won it when they won the 2018 one, because like you said,
Yeah,
they
right.
won 2015, 17, and 18. It's the same. Like people ask me, are the Heatles a dynasty? I say no, because they didn't win 3. They only won
Right.
2 and they lost 2. Right.
Right.
So
They had a run. There's
Right.
runs and then there's dynasties. You know what I mean?
But I think there needs to be at least 3.
Mhm.
But I'm circumstantial on the back-to-back.
Okay.
To me, if you went every other year,
like the Spurs, right? We talk about the
and
Spurs.
you got
The Spurs
3,
are
if you got
dynasty.
say if you got 3 and 6 years or so, I think I'm ready to call you a dynasty at
You
that
see,
point.
Ray doesn't qualify the Spurs as a dynasty.
I don't necessarily need the back-to-back. I think it's circumstantial. I need
you need to
the
go back
resume.
to back if you're a dynasty.
Yeah, you
gotta
need to go back to
back.
back. That's the fair assessment. And again, in football, we've rarely seen it. So aside from the Patriots, the Cowboys, I guess the Niners, and now you could put in the Chiefs in that same category.
San Fran did it in football, if I'm not mistaken, the 80s.
Baseball,
The
Astros.
80s, 49ers, I believe they went back to
Was the
back.
Steelers back-to-backs?
With Terry
70s
Bradshaw?
Steelers. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
so. Yeah.
They won 4 chips. I think one of those was back to back, if I'm not mistaken.
So
They
then you
might have
got
been back to back twice, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not gonna hold you. I think they both times they went back to back. But I'll do my Googles. If somebody in the chat or Manny, if you dare pull it up, let's know.
I got the list right now. Patriots did 3 out of 4 years, and then 3 out of 5 the next 3 that they won.
Okay.
But they didn't do
Bron-
back to back. But they didn't do back to back in their second run, right?
No, the second run, no.
Oh, they
they
didn't.
won,
Yeah.
then it was the Broncos, then they won again, then the Eagles, then the Patriots. Then they won again. That was the last time. Yeah, from what I'm looking at here, 98, 97 Broncos.
They won back to back, right? But they
They
only
won
won
back to
2.
back.
That's
but they
only
never-
2. That's only
That's
2.
a
Yeah,
run.
because and then the Cowboys, they won 3 out of 4, back to back 92, 93. Then the Niners won 94,
And then
95. The Cowboys won.
Cowboys. So that's one. Yep.
Montana's 49ers didn't go back to back in the 80s.
I think they.
88, 89.
Yep.
The Niners went back to back. And then they won again. They won in 84 too. That was
a dynasty. They was the 80s standard, more or
yeah,
less.
from 84. Yeah, from 81.
81, they beat
In the,
the
span, in the
Dolphins.
span of from 81 to 89, they won 4. They won 3. Oh, 4. Sorry,
They won 4 and they had
4
the back to back. You said
4
eight,
chips
eight,
and
eight.
4 chips from 81 to 89. They won 4 championships.
And then they had the back
They
to
went
back.
back to back.
Yeah.
They went back to back.
And what about the Steelers?
70s.
Steelers went back to back 79, 78, and they
Mhm.
went back to back again in 74, 75.
Yeah, I be knowing.
And then even before that, obviously the Packers were the first team to ever do it 66, 67, and then the Dolphins did it in 72, 73.
Back to back, you're saying, but not dynasty.
Back to back.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
All right.
Because
All
after that, they won 2 and then
It's
it
the
just
new standard. And as long as Andy Reid wants to coach and he has his quarterback,
They can
What's
go
stopping
the
them?
world. Yeah.
That's a great conversation right there. How long does Andy Reid stick around? That's going to be a big factor in how long this keeps going. How long does Andy Reid stick
Is,
around?
is Andy Reid moving up in the coaching? We talking about the players. That's 3 for Reid.
Gotta have that combo
right.
with him.
And we got to think of how many appearances he had with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like a coach conversation. A coach needs to happen this off season. We need to start looking at these coaches and kind of like how we ranking.
Coaches.
In modern
Right.
era, is Andy Reid just below Belichick now? Is it
Yeah.
Reid, is it Belichick and Reid and then everybody else?
In the modern era, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I'd agree with that.
I got you right here. I just looked it up. Andy Reid is in the playoffs. He's been to the playoffs 24 times. He's 31. He's been to the championship game 13 times.
Mm-hmm.
8 in the NFC, 5 in the AFC.
Jeez.
What, 6 Super Bowl appearances? Because he had 3 with the Eagles. No,
And
more than that. He had 3 with
think
the
about
Eagles,
it.
right?
He's the first coach in NFL history to coach in 5 consecutive conference championship games.
He only got to the Super Bowl, I think, once with the Eagles.
You got once with the Eagles. That was 04.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking.
That's
NFC.
with-
Yeah, that was the
Wasn't
Terrell
that
Owens
with-
season. That was the TO
Yeah,
year.
with McNabb. With McNabb.
With McNabb.
But at a certain point,
that's one.
I think the Eagles got to like the NFC Championship game like mad years in a row, like during his tenure, though. Like
Right. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So, fellas, to kind of wrap up as we finish off the NFL season, Ray, I'll start with you. What grade would you give the NFL season this year?
The season as a whole, I'd probably give it an A, bro. Like when you just think about, this is the first time in a long time where we with the exception of a few games, we didn't really cry too much about the refs, the quality of the sport. I felt like it was offense heavy in previous years, but I feel like the defense as a whole leveled up. If you look at like especially the passing stats, the receiving stats, in years where you see wide receivers get 15, 16 touchdown receptions, quarterbacks having 40-plus TD tosses. I think the leader in the NFL this year had like 36 touchdown passes. It was a better balance from offense to defense. The quality of on-field play plays a little bit better. Is it soft in certain moments? Yes. Is there some controversy? Yes. But as far as a pure football season with the current rules, this season was an A for me.
Travis?
I gotta go A+, because if you think about it, we had no clear-cut favorites.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This year, parity. The NFL loves parity, and this was a year where parity ruled. You know what I mean? The year the backup quarterbacks. You had the Browns, who started like 5 different backup quarterbacks, still made the playoffs. I think the number was either in the 30s or maybe even the 40s of how many quarterbacks started this year across the NFL. You know what I mean? And then you have the Chiefs, who at the beginning of the season, they were the favorites. But as the season went off, we was like, nah, this Chiefs team look a little suspect. I don't know about that. But then they got into the playoffs. They won the number 1 seed. They went on the road. Were they underdogs all 3 games?
Nah, the divisional and the conference.
Okay. They was underdogs. They was underdogs in the Super Bowl too, though.
Yeah, that too.
According to Vegas. According to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that right. So therefore, and here they are winning the Super Bowl. I gotta give it an A+, man, because like, what more do you want? You know what I mean?
Aaron Rodgers. That's what we wanted, right?
Yeah.
That's
I'll
what
wait
we
for
All
wanted.
right, okay, the Jets.
Yeah, we wanted to see Aaron Rodgers. We wanted that. And in the
maybe
4
Greg
snaps,
maybe
we
Greg
lost
and
it.
Chuck needed that. But if you think about it,
Yo,
that's a
Greg,
wild
get
start
back
to the
on his
season.
phone.
If you think about that, that's a wild start to the season. Because there was so much hype going into and then what, 4 minutes into the season he goes down.
4 snaps, he goes down. Yeah, I know. You couldn't predict it.
Right, come on now. That's
there.
even crazier.
So, Manny, what grade are you giving the script this year?
I give it an A+ too. I have no regrets. I have no issues. I can also say we had an MVP race with multiple positions. Let's not forget Tyreek Hill. You have Brock Purdy, Lamar Jackson, CMC. You know, these guys were playing great. They were putting up numbers. They were in the race. You didn't even know until the very end. And then you saw Lamar get it. You know, shout out to him. But then we were having combos in the chat going like, yo, he deserves it. No, he deserves it. But then it's also the coaches. And plus, again, you're the backup quarterbacks, but also the rookie quarterbacks. You know, shout out to CJ Stroud. You know, you also got to witness some teams change, like turn their franchise around. Some in the short span, some in the long span. So now we look forward to the off season even more now because now we're going to see who's staying on their team, what pivotal key players on each team that helps their team get over any trades possibly to happen, any free agent signings. You know, it's going to be interesting. Also, movements between coaches now. Bill Belichick is still available. Mike Vrabel's still available. You know, where's Eric Bieniemy going to go? Is he going to go back to the Chiefs? We don't know. You know, is he going to go somewhere to help out? Again, there's more storylines going into the offseason. So it's just going to keep us. And then don't forget the draft. What's going to happen at this draft? Are teams going to trade up to get a quarterback? You know, are the Bears going to give up? Are the Bears going to keep Justin Fields? Or are they going to trade him off and get more pieces? We don't know, but offseason is going to be fun. So the roster better step up.
Speaking of that, the NFL will take a break and we'll return with the roster. The roster is a show that kind of leads us up to the NFL draft. So a couple of weeks, I think we do 6 weeks of the roster where we kind of preview what's going on and what teams need to do. Travis goes into a mode where he breaks out a big whiteboard and he goes all over it, telling us who gets drafted and who goes where and there. So look out for that. I believe it's on Thursdays. Time to be determined. If not, you could catch it on our YouTube channel and make sure you subscribe there to get all of our content. So make sure you go out there and subscribe. Ray Jarvis, you want to give the fans a plug to the Rap Roundtable? Been doing great things out here.
Yeah, Rap Roundtable, new episodes on YouTube. You have our live shows on Monday. Ironically, for Carl, we call our live show on Mondays Monday Night Raw. It's not the official title, but that's what we call it. We have our in-studio episodes that drops bi-weekly on Tuesdays that we pushing the time back. It's going to be 6:30s every other Tuesday. And, of course, we know we got the lunch hour on Fridays. Obviously, at lunch, midday, 12 o'clock. Unless there's nothing to absolutely talk about, you get the lunch hour on Fridays at noon. And if news breaks over the weekend, you get the Chatty Boy segment with myself and Macito. Also, you know, roundtablemerch.com. We got the little hoodies here. You know what I mean? They ain't officially out yet. This is just a little sample I'm wearing, but roundtablemerch.com, get your merch. We still got a few more truckers. We're about to sell out of the truckers. If you want a trucker, go to roundtablemerch.com, support the brand. Everything you put into the brand goes into the brand. So help us level that up. And that's about it. Tap in on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays for the Rap Roundtable.
One thing I will say when it comes to rap, special shout out to Rock Nation on producing another great Super Bowl halftime show. I think, Ray, you said in the comments, since they've taken over, it's been completely elite.
It's been black as fuck, and we love it.
We do. We love it.
Sorry for the vulgarity. I know we've been keeping it clean.
It's okay.
Especially during Black History Month.
Listen, the Karens are upset. I've been reading the comments on social media. The Karens are upset again, and it's great. And Devin and I were talking about it. Next year, like I said, is in Louisiana. It's time for Wayne to step it up.
Money.
Cash money.
It's gonna be the Hot Boy. Can you imagine that? The Hot Boy reunion in Louisiana?
Yeah, that'll be
wild. They better break out the white T-shirts and the baggy jeans too. I want to see the whole thing.
That'll be dope.
Why are they mad? They get the national anthem. That's what I'm reading.
They did.
I just want to say, like I've been saying it in my house. I want to say it on wax. Like, I had damn near 20 years of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, U2. What's the other group? The Rolling Stones.
Paul McCartney
by himself. The Red Hot Chili Peppers again. The Who.
Maroon 5.
How many times did we see the Red Hot Chili Peppers in the Super Bowl? Like, it was 2 or 3 years. Like, listen, I had it. Janet Jackson got blamed while Justin Timberlake got the comeback and crease up his Jordans, and we let it live. Y'all gotta take all this black work. Rihanna standing still while she pregnant, floating in the air. Usher giving you his B-level performance, and you're gonna get the Hot Boys. You got the West Coast, and heaven forbid the Super Bowl gets anywhere close to New York. You gonna get all them New York rappers. I want y'all to be mad. Be mad.
That's what Jay gonna pull up.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers. Mad years. I'm sorry, y'all, but I had to get that off.
No, please let us know, because a lot of people. This may be the clip of the week. Please, Ray, keep going. This may be my clip of the week.
I'm good. I just because it's like, as black people, football is black as hell. Like, majority of the teams are a bunch of black dudes. We're not listening to that. When you go to the NFL games, what are they playing? They're playing the most modern rap music in the pre-games. When they doing their little stretches on the fields, you're not hearing YouTube. You're hearing Future.
Hey, Taylor
You know
Swift
what I'm
swag
saying?
surfing,
Right.
bro.
They out there playing Future just to troll Russell Wilson. Like,
Come
Listen.
on, bro. In a
Taylor
playoff
Swift
game,
swag
Travis.
surfing.
Come on, man.
We got Rick tuning in. Rick, are you already back at the hotel, bro? I expected you to be at the casino, man. What you doing? You tapping out?
I have to. No, tapping out is this is my halftime.
Rick like he got some rest.
Oh,
Rick like
yo,
he
Paul,
got some
stop
rest. 'Cause
snitching,
that
bro.
Yo,
like,
as
first
soon
time-
as listen,
first time
as
he looked
soon
like he
as
was
that
still
game
hungover. He
ended.
got some rest. He ready.
yo,
Rick
listen.
not
As
even
soon as
drunk.
that game
I
ended,
see how sober he
game
is,
plan
right?
was to be back here, yo. So we trying to sober up completely. We got Marquis tonight, like I mentioned, So now, especially since we seen Lil Jon and JB out there with Usher tonight, we hoping we catch Usher at Marquis tonight. So, but I need some rest first. It's been a
Nah, I
rough
hear
week.
that. So we spoke to Paul. We got the vibes. What were your vibes from the fans who weren't in the arena, but just around in terms of what people were talking about at the game there?
Yeah, I mean, it was a tale of, you could say two halves, but not even really. It was a tale of almost an entire game, and then crunch time at the end. Because Niner fans, I'm not sure if we know what the vibe was as far as Paul. I didn't see what he mentioned in the building, but Niner fans have been heavy throughout Vegas all week. Obviously, proximity helps there, you know what I mean. But the Niner fans have been here heavy, and we was watching the game at a certain spot, and the Niner fans was heavy. So they was in there, they was loud, they was proud for about
I know it's a
85%.
melee happening somewhere with 49 fans.
Yo, listen, and that's what I told. So
They
I got
fight
two of my
everybody.
cousins out here. I got two of my cousins out here from Paris. So they was like, yo, we want to pick a team to ride with. And I told them, go with the Chiefs, right? So that's the thing I told them. I'm like, listen, Niner fans don't play, man. You ain't even a real fan. Don't try to get no smoke that you got no business drawing
They
to
will
yourself,
fight.
bro.
You're gonna run into some big Samoan dude ready to throw hands, messing with Niner fans, bro.
And they here. And they
Speaking
here.
of 49ers, man. F George Kittle, man. He messed up all my parlays tonight, man.
Oh man,
He couldn't get 25 yards.
Nah,
man.
but like I said, man, the Niner fans were definitely in there loud and proud pretty much the entire time. Chiefs fans had their little pockets, and obviously the momentum was building up. But I mean, every single time, like coming down the stretch in the fourth quarter, coming down the stretch in OT, we all sitting at the table and just kept saying, it's going to be Mahomes magic at any given time. Like, it's like I said in the pregame, I've learned my lesson this season. Like, I'm not betting against that dude ever again until he proves otherwise.
And speaking of Mahomes, we already asked the other panel. I guess, Travis, the best way you could say is that in order to put him in the GOAT conversation, he's basically, I guess, shopping for a crib. That's what you said, Travis? Like he's in the market for a house.
He's shopping for real estate in the area.
So, Rick, where do you put him? Because it's like, Ray made a great argument, like in terms of his trajectory of his career now, having the Super Bowl rings. He has 3. He's been to, I believe, 4. He's been in the AFC Championship consistently on a consistent basis. Where do you have him in that? Like, is it time for us to start entertaining that conversation?
So if Travis thinks he's in the neighborhood shopping for the house, I'll do you one better. It's a new build, and he started building it a couple years ago. Now it may not be completely finished yet, but he been started building that house in the neighborhood. So we only got some finishing touches left before he moving in at this point.
I said they got the penthouse, the little high-rise penthouse, and he moved on the first floor. Brady's at the top floor, but Mahomes is on the first floor now. That's all I'm saying. They in the same address.
Yo, here's the thing for me, right?
Don't drive.
I understand the Tom Brady thing. It's 10 appearances, it's 7 wins. And people are also going to say, oh, how about the head-to-head? I get all that. But this dude has been playing this game for 5 years, right? It's been 5 years he's been playing as a starter.
6.
And he's been in the Super 6. Yeah, so he's been playing as a starter for 6 years. He's been in the AFC Championship 5 times, Super Bowl 4 times.
6, no, he's been in the AFC Championship 6 years.
Come on. Like, this is ridiculous. So if I'm a percentage guy, right? The totals are cool, but I like to look at the percentages. I mean, he's batting, what, 800 right now?
Yeah.
Come
so
on,
6 AFC championships, 4 Super Bowls, and 3 rings. Yeah,
He's
he
And
lost.
think about it.
800, man. Come
The two
on.
AFC championship games that he lost literally came down to, like, you really they had to play the whole game to get them out of there. Like, they rolled over. Like, you had to play the game of your life to get the Chiefs out of there in them two AFC championship games.
And the one AFC that he lost to Brady, right? You'd say?
I think he lost
Because
to
of
Brady in
it was
overtime.
the offsides. It was that
Yeah,
offside.
Brady and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burrow and
then Joe Burrow.
Burrow too. Yeah.
And then he
basically
lost to
at the goal
Brady.
line.
Yeah, and then he lost to Brady to the to Tampa
Right.
Bay. And then Rick,
Yeah.
the other question was, what grade do you give the NFL season?
Man, I think this season overall was awesome. You know, we've seen a couple little, goofy referee hiccups and whatnot. We know that's gonna happen. The injuries suck. I mean, we've seen even today, in the Super Bowl, Greenlaw snaps his Achilles, so the Achilles injuries were really, really shitty, but again, that's not something that you can necessarily point at any body in particularly and say, hey, that's your fault. You need to fix that. You know what I mean? So the stuff that can be controlled for the most part, I think this was a pretty damn good season. From a marketing standpoint, obviously, it's been amazing because, for you to get the alley-oop that is the whole Taylor Swift phenomenon and to be able to get the actual end game on top of it, So I mentioned in the chat just before I jumped on here, I'm high off of Vegas, obviously, so I could be a prisoner in a moment, but I'm pretty sure I just watched the very best Super Bowl game I've ever seen. So if I'm gonna grade the NFL along all of that, I'm gonna go with an A. I'd give it an A+, if not for all the Achilles injuries.
Well, and speaking of Taylor Swift, I think I was watching the game with Devin. He said Beyonce's comeback was, if you saw Beyonce's commercial drop, and then she dropped 2 singles now that her album is coming out March 29th. Ray's shaking his head. I'm just giving you the context of what's going on.
Beyonce, no disrespect to Deb, but let's be clear. As much as we love Beyonce, Taylor Swift is in a whole different bracket. They're not in the same conversation. As Black people, we have to accept that.
That's a hard accept, Ray. That's a hard accept.
There.
No,
Because hold on, Travis. I just want to make this point. Beyonce is the face of the Black woman as far as pop culture goes. When we're looking at Taylor Swift, and I use this on a different platform, it's about she's white. White people are still the majority in America. Mm-hmm. She has the whole middle America, not the coast, the entire middle America. And then she has Black and whites and Hispanics on each coast that love her music. She's something else. She's an anomaly. I don't even listen to her music. She's just something else. We can't. Yeah. Beyonce don't have what Taylor Swift has when it comes to the demographics. You know what I mean? That's all
the
I'm
word
saying.
right there.
Because if you look at demographics, Shannon Sharp took some heat for that comment about a week or two ago. But
Shannon Sharp is not the elocutor and the orator that I am. He said some other shit.
But I agree with both y'all, because if you look at it this way, as big as Beyonce is, she wouldn't have brought if the roles were reversed, she wouldn't have brought in $300 million for the NFL, because I don't think Beyonce would have embraced it the way Taylor Swift would have.
Yeah,
I disagree.
You know what I mean?
It wouldn't have been $300 million, but it would have been like 200. Don't get it twisted, bro.
Right, I'm not saying she wouldn't have brought in money, but I don't think she would have embraced it the way. I don't think you would have seen Beyonce. Could you imagine if Beyonce was single and dating a player? That's what I'm saying. She wouldn't have been in the box all wilding and like. I can't see her embracing it the way Taylor Swift embraced it. You know what I mean? So that's why you got to kind of like.
I could understand that just from the
kind of vibe that Beyonce.
And that's what I was gonna say. It's the girl next door. So the way the two would embrace it, it's gonna be completely
there's
different.
The Queen, Beyonce, then there's Taylor Swift. When it comes to presence.
Facts.
Listen, I figured I would throw you that question, Ray, since you're in that music entertainment industry as well. You'd be the perfect person to ask that one, to go that way when it comes to Taylor and Beyonce. But like I said, Beyonce did drop 2 singles Her second
And
album, Renaissance, and now she's doing it's a little bit country-esque. If you guys haven't listened to it, it's coming out March, I believe, March 29th.
Why you think she in that bag, bro? She see what Taylor doing. Try to
Yeah,
get the
yeah,
white-
it is.
You
It
know what I
is.
mean?
And on top of that, too, it
You
is.
On
dropped
top
the
of that,
house
too,
album
I'll
to
give her
get the white
credit.
people. Now you trying some country. It's all about demographics.
Yeah, yeah.
On
yeah.
top of that, I'll give her credit because what
Shout
Carl
out to
said,
Beyonce because she
there
just
is
don't
something
stop
to
working.
that. There is something to that what Carl mentioned as far as doing the rollout the way she did, because Taylor pretty much just did that last week, used the Grammys
She
as
did.
a rollout.
She did.
So
yeah.
for
Beyonce did this.
B to pull up a week later and be like, all right, let me use the Super Bowl. I'll give her that.
Fact.
The team put in work on that rollout for sure.
I mean,
because
it's
it
all
came with
marketing.
the
Think about
Verizon
it.
commercial and
Every
everything.
time you saw Taylor Swift, you saw Ice Spice tonight. It's all marketing. It's placement.
Listen,
What we saw
I
was
thought that
I was
was an
talking
odd
about that.
placement, right? Product
I was
placement.
talking about that. The first thing I said, I was like, interesting who's in that room.
Oh.
I was like, why is Ice Spice and Taylor in the
Yeah.
same
Marketing,
like,
bro.
That's an odd
That-
combo
I actually,
Yeah.
you know what's crazy? I actually counted because I'm going to have this discussion with my students tomorrow. The camera went to Taylor Swift.
What was the
17
number?
times.
Yeah.
17
17.
times. Yeah,
Was it the over under like 11 or something like that?
Yeah, they went 17 times.
Oh gosh, they blew that away.
Yeah,
Even
but
on
more
plays that
times in
didn't
the
involve
second half.
Travis Kelce.
Say it again.
Even on plays that didn't involve Travis Kelce.
Yeah, they did.
were
So
going to the booth.
I think
And
it
that was
was
a
more
lot of the
times
game,
in the
if you're
second
being
half.
honest.
Yeah, it was more times in the second half because that's when the Chiefs actually started winning the game, and then you have the post conference. You saw more of it, but 17 times is what I counted. So,
who got the MVP? I had to check out. Who got the MVP?
Mahomes, bro.
Mahomes. Yeah.
Nobody else was
Super
getting
Bowl
that.
MVPs.
Yes.
And you talking about he not buying real estate? It's purchased
Nah.
already, bro.
Listen,
I
I think
need
he
one
put it
more.
down payment.
I need one more. He's
No,
shopping
you
right
don't.
now. He's shopping.
Doesn't Brady
I
have
need
3
one more.
career Super Bowl MVPs?
Yeah, I think Brady has 3 as well.
Mahomes got
think so.
3.
Listen, Travis,
Listen to me.
at this point,
Go ahead.
Brady's already prepping that welcome home welcome to the neighborhood basket, bro.
No, he ain't. No, he
He
ain't.
got-
No,
Brady ain't
actually,
that
actually,
type.
no.
Brady-
Actually, no. He has
Brady-
5. I actually know he has 5 Super Bowl MVPs. Brady has
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Nah,
Because
listen,
Edelman
Brady's got
got
5.
one. Edelman
Listen,
got
Brady
one.
already got he already ordered the special charcuterie, sent it over to the first floor. Yo, welcome to the penthouse.
Nah,
Yeah. Welcome.
Nah, Brady.
Here's my special
Brady out
tequila.
there.
Welcome.
Brady with the homeowners association trying to keep him out. Me like, nah, I can't let him
All
in
right. Over with. Be there.
there. He like, nah. Brady like,
You
yeah, I
don't
throw
have to
you a
start
couple
crying about
dollars.
Taylor
He
Swift
can't get
music coming out.
He can't get approved. He can't get approved to move in. Yo, Brady, you already know that's how athletes are. They
Wait,
don't
Trav,
want
who won
they
the
don't
other
want their
Super Bowl
record
MVP
broken.
for the Patriots? You said it was
Deion Branch.
Edelman got one.
Deion Branch. Oh yeah, Deion Branch.
Edelman got one. Deion Branch got one.
Okay. Okay, so those are the other 2.
Yep.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Sports Hit List live post show. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Smoke and Mirrors tomorrow will join us, and I'm sure they'll have their 49ers fan in the building to kind of wrap up what they need to do. And I'm sure they'll have a lot to say. Rick, again, well, one more question for you, Rick. What can the 49ers do to get over the hump, or there's nothing they can do?
Listen, it's the same thing the Bills can do. It's the same thing the Ravens can do. It's not be matched up against Pat Mahomes, bro. Like this is literally just a situation where Pat is gonna make sure a lot of these dudes don't get a ring, unfortunately.
So listen,
and
Patrick
it's
Mahomes is Jordan, bro. He's not even LeBron. Man. He's Jordan. He's the full stop. You got to get through him or get out the way.
And the 49ers might benefit in this way, the fact that they're in the NFC. So you got so you can sit here and be like, we want hopefully one of them AFC quarterbacks knocks him out.
Knocks him out. Yes.
And you ain't got to deal with him in the NFC. But the chance of that happen,
I think that window is closing because
So,
I think the Rams are going to be in the conversation next season.
Yeah. That Rams 49ers matchup is always 50-50 with them. They always match up well against each other. So I mean, it's hard to see what happens. I think the 49ers, At minimum, I think they're back in the Final Four next year. I think. At
I
minimum.
mean,
barring
listen, if
barring injuries, I think they're back in the Final Four.
I think the jig is up for Brock Purdy next season.
so here's the thing, right? If we're looking at all of the rosters top to bottom, it's no doubt that the Niners came into this game with the better roster top to bottom, right?
Right.
What's the one difference?
Mahomes.
There's only one difference.
Yeah, it's
I
Patty
can't
Mahomes.
say this.
That's all I'm saying.
If you ain't got 15, you don't really got a shot, man.
Was Cam Newton right?
Yes. Yes.
And it's not a bad thing.
You
Like
need
He's
to
absolutely right. And it's not
The
a bad
only
thing.
person that can touch 15 is 12, and he not playing no more.
That's it. He's
Carl, I said
prepping
at
welcome
the
to the
beginning of the
neighborhood
show.
basket.
I said I gave the 49ers 5 out of the 8 categories, but the Chiefs have the 2 biggest ones: quarterback and coaching.
And coaching,
You-
yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Rick, I said
and-
Geno. If you put Geno Smith in place of Brock Purdy tonight, Sanford win that game. How crazy am I?
Oh, I mean, damn.
I don't know about that. Geno was suspect this year. I don't know.
Geno, I mean,
Geno's a better thrower of the football.
yeah. So there might be some better plays made out there on some tosses, you know. And that's not that's not a slight towards Purdy. That's
But you gotta
just
call it. You gotta
calling
call
it
the
what
game
it
to your
is.
skill set. Brock Purdy not.
Yeah.
You know, his arm talent not special, bro.
Well, that being said, Andy Reid becomes the 3rd oldest head coach to win a Super Bowl at the age of 65 and 329 days. We know we're going to talk about that coaching when it comes down to
Andy Reid only 65.
65. Yeah, just saw it.
You got 5 more years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Bill like 70.
Bill,
Bill like 70 something. Like, damn, he like 70 something.
Nah, Bill Belichick
That's
will be the
what
Giants coach next season. After the Giants mess around, bring Daniel Jones back, fail again, and then Dable and Shine, whatever, however you pronounce our GM's name, get fired.
Shine.
Whatever the hell. Then
Think about it like
Bill
this.
Belichick comes home to the Giants and he ends his career coaching Big Blue to another championship. You heard it here first.
Think about it like this. Bill Belichick gonna be at every team next year just filming. He could be at everybody's squad legally now and just filming.
And then we can cheat with the Giants. Let's talk about
He
it.
gonna come back the season after that with film on everybody. Like,
if the Giants keep Daniel Jones as quarterback, Bill Belichick will be the Giants' next head coach. Put it on.
You see, I say I want to go, but Rick, I got one more for you. We had the dynasty talk. So is this Chiefs team the dynasty? Do they get it for you?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Okay, so
I mean,
what's your rules? Again, my rule for a dynasty is you need at least 3 and you need a back-to-back. Is that fair?
yes, the back-to-back is very important because
Told
that's
you-
what
told you,
really that for me that does really set you, like, that's domination. 2 years straight y'all couldn't see me. That shows the domination, and then like you said, at least 3. Now that shows the accumulation. But then when you talk about, we're talking 4 years, 5 years, whatever it's been, 6 years, like that gets thrown in as well. I mean, this is a beautifully done dynasty, especially considering the fact that, again, we've seen where you send someone like Tyreek Hill packing, like you tell him, nah, we're good. You can go and we'll be
you've
fine.
won 2 since.
That's crazy. That's
You win
crazy.
2 with
If
I
that
will
ain't
say
a
this,
dynasty-
though. I will say
if
this.
that ain't a dynasty, I don't know what is.
A 3-peat has never been done in the NFL. Does this Chiefs team become the first?
Ooh.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no, just because
It's just
Football.
so hard. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they'd have to do it next year. It's never been done in NFL history.
I gotta see the off season. If they find a way to get a wide receiver in there,
I'm gonna say no anyway.
Health.
really,
Yeah,
well.
it's tough.
I want to say that's out of the 4 major sports, the NFL is the only team that we haven't seen a 3-peat. I believe that's correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't
Because
seen that.
again, parity. They want parity, free agency. Like other sports, it's easy to keep a core together. The NFL is very hard. It's such a physical sport, and it's
I
hard
think
to
the
keep a
Dolphins
core
will be better
together.
next year. I think the Dolphins, as much as their defense is shaky, I just like the way they're coached, and I think they're a year away. Being that next year, I think they'll be heavy in that conversation. I think Cincinnati, with a healthy Burrow coming back, they're going to be in that conversation. Because the thing is, sometimes you need that humble pie. They got humbled this year. I think they're going to come back very strong. The Cleveland's right there. Don't get it twisted. Cleveland's right there. Houston, I think, is going to regress. Even though Stroud is good, I don't think they're going to run it back to back. I don't know. It's going to be hard. The AFC's a lot of killers in the AFC, bro. I don't know.
Their division. I think Jim Harbaugh's going to turn the Chargers around.
He's a team changer. We know that already. He changes.
He changes cultures. He's gonna. They already got talent.
The Raiders.
They already
have a grown man
franchise quarterback.
I love what Pierce brings to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Nah, I gotta say no, Carl.
Okay,
it's gonna be too tough. It's gonna be too tough. And then here's the funny thing, right? Here's the funny thing. We say all of this and we say no, and God forbid next year I'll be chilling in
But
New
listen,
Orleans.
Because think about it.
To be fair, Ray Jarvis is the only one to say no. Everybody else says, I don't know. Ray is standing on no.
That Chiefs defense is very young still. Remember, they started a lot of first and second year guys this year.
Let me just end on this.
Defense is still young.
Listen. Let me stand on this. Ray said no. Is everybody else saying no? Because I need a definite answer. Just for the sake of our entertainment. Are we saying no, they don't do a three-peat?
So here's what I'll say. I want to say no. I absolutely want to say no just because it's tough. But what did I say coming in here off the top? I have learned this year not to bet against that man. So if I got an answer today, I'm gonna ride with your team, man.
Put it like this. I got this for you, Carl. Oh, go ahead, go to Manny.
Manny, what you got? Yes or no? No.
Absolutely not.
Trav.
Now you know the Raider fan was gonna say no.
I'm gonna give you a TBD. Tune into the roster. Tune into the roster to find out once we get through the off season.
Season premiere coming soon.
You're not playing the media game right. You gotta drop the take right now.
Because I get
I'm gonna go out and say yes. I'm gonna say yes. To get it done. Yeah. I say it's done.
So a year from now, we witness history.
Yeah, I'm going yes.
Okay.
Like I said, I reserve the right to change my mind after I see what my Dolphins do.
Well, y'all know my theory as it is. As the facts change, so will my opinion. I'm not married to anything.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's facts. You guys have a good night. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all Hitless content, fellas. Always a pleasure. I'll see you guys in the streets. Take care.
Yo, Rick, stay safe out there.
Yeah, Rick, be safe, bro. Be safe.
Appreciate it.
Are you getting back home in time for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I get in Wednesday morning. So, like I said, Wednesday morning, straight to Operation Pay It Forward, bro. Operation Pay It Forward is in full effect.
Have all those flowers at the door before you can
land.
Flowers ain't gonna do it.
I ain't get to respond to you and Deb's comment at the end. If she sent me the Super Bowl, go ahead and send that over there, man.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. She was like, Travis a little cute there. I'm gonna see what I can do for you. That's what she said. So we'll see, brother. We'll see, homie.
Listen, she sending brothers to the Super Bowl. Go right ahead.
Listen, man. As long as you single, man, she got some single friends. We'll see what we can do for you, brother.
Hey, I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
Y'all take care. Y'all have a good night.